Shagnasty's podcast special episode here with our friend Bobby from Saliva. Hey. Bobby. So Bobby is the singer. He's been the singer of Saliva since 2011, I hear.
I'm sure it feels longer than that. But
dude, it's been a long. Just the 3 years since COVID is just like mind-boggling.
It was like added 13 years to that.
Yeah, honestly, man.
But we're here and we're live and we're good.
And somehow the music scene made it through all that bullshit. So we're very happy to have you guys back.
A lot of good records. A lot of bands went and wrote.
That was a really cool aspect of the pandemic for sure, man.
Well, I think it's almost gives people that time to like reflect a little bit and on what's important, too, and like not only family or families first, and then when it comes to like music, it's almost like reigniting that like. Why, we should be grateful that we get to play music for a living. And
hell yeah.
So let's go and try to make the best record possible for our fans. And that's kind of what we did, with like our new record and stuff. We did a lot of stuff where we did enough music for a record. We did a covers record. We did
that's cool.
Then we did the remakes of like the every 6-second stuff.
Yes.
And we released that last year just because it was the 20th anniversary, and we're like, let's just do something for the fans for that. And
that's really cool because I think anybody who's heard you sing some of those classic songs, it's definitely worth getting that on recordings because it is a whole new take on that material. And it's really cool to hear it with that stamina and with that energy. I've worked with you guys 3 times now. So twice here and once at Sidetracks when I was working there before this. How many times have you been to Shagnasty specifically?
This is probably our 3rd time, maybe.
Okay, cool. So only one that I wasn't here for. I've been working here for about a year now. So
and they treat us well, man. We love the people here.
They treat me well, man.
Lewis and Trina, and they're great. So we honestly, when the agent had reached out to me and when we were routing this whole tour, and it was I think between this and like Murfreesboro or something, or another venue for the same date, or whatever. And I was like, dude, we're going to Shagnasty's, dude. We're going to Huntsville.
Yes, we're gonna warms the old cockles or heart.
Yeah, they're always great to us here, man. And that's the thing. When you're on tour and you're away from family and you're away from stuff, you want to be around people you trust, and you want to be around people that you love.
Familiar faces are always very welcome when you're out there. It gets a little risky, a little scary out there sometimes. Been in some weird situations on the road myself, man.
Oh, dude, yeah. Tell me about it, bro. I could tell you some stories.
Oh, dude, I had this band 53 Judges telling me their spiciest tour stories the other night.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was a great episode. Like married women, in the vans, and they didn't know, and all
in the van.
Wow.
And then, wherever you can get it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, a little spicy. But you've been in the scene a lot longer than just with Saliva, right?
Yeah, I did some touring back in the early days. So I got signed in 2001. The band that I was with, it was like I was playing drums and writing music with that band. And the singer, I was kind of like, he and I were like, best friends. And he was, I didn't really want to be a singer, even though
nobody does. I hear that, and that's the same story for me as well in bands. So that nobody that ends up being like a real singer in a band ever wanted to do that. It's just you were the only one who was willing to take that mantle, right?
Right. Well, it's kind of like the Dave Grohl thing. Like for me, I was just like, I'm cool just playing drums, and writing music and shit. And then there just came a time where we got our deal. Yeah. And we were like, stoked about that. I mean, I was fucking 17 years old, man.
So cool, man.
Right out of high school. I'm in LA.
Sure.
Living with Danny Wimmer, who now runs the biggest festivals in America.
Holy shit.
So, but, we were doing that stuff, and then it just didn't work out. We did a record. Funny enough, the record that our producer at the time was Bob Marlette, who did the first few Saliva records.
Sure.
And he had just finished doing Shinedown's first record. And I learned a lot from him.
Another great vocalist, by the way, Shinedown.
Right, Brent,
amazing vocalist.
And our bass player Brad was in Shinedown on his first couple records.
Okay. A little connection there.
Yep.
Degrees of separation. I love that. And I get the sense that you really care about songs too. And that's the cool thing about being a musician and not just a singer, is that you kind of have this bird's eye view of the song structure as it is.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
It's where it starts. Like
Yeah,
you're
I
never
so
going to
agree.
be a famous band without good songs. I mean, you're
I
never going to be
so
a famous
agree.
artist without good songs. And sometimes, you know,
You'd have all the TikToks in the world.
Right.
You got to have the songs, baby.
well, and a lot of these artists are trying to, you know, it's all about trying to find a way to stay relevant now and keep
amen.
up with social media and keep up with stuff. Something that this band is like so late on. Like
Sure.
you know, we just now started really trying to take the social media stuff serious, because I guess that is a way that you connect with
Sure.
people. And, you know, it's not just music that you connect with them anymore.
I definitely
How do you
see
connect
that.
with them visually now? And like,
But I guess that's a luxury you can have, as for lack of a better term, being sort of a legacy act, is that you don't have as much pressure to perform on that plane.
I mean,
guess.
this band just never really had to do that stuff back in the
Sure.
day when you had like major labels and MTV and radio.
Oh my God, imagine,
those, like,
imagine that existing now.
yeah, there was more mystique
Sure.
into the music. It's like what I say now. It's like, dude, think about like if you were in the 80s and you were just trying to fucking touch Steven Tyler, you know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, not happening.
Like you'd fucking faint.
It's
you
like
know?
touching the Ark of the Covenant.
Right.
It's
But
not
now
happening.
it's like,
They
you see
wanna
him
know
on
what
American
laundry
Idol.
detergent
Like,
you're using. Hey, what laundry detergent
you know
you
where
use?
his grandmother lives now. It's like you can find out everything about the guy.
Oh God,
that,
I
like,
hate that.
you know,
That's so creepy.
Yeah, the mystique is just gone.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
and rock and roll, and that's what made it so cool and so great, along with the fucking songs. I mean, the
No,
songs
I
are
agree.
everything.
That is cool.
Always
There
has been.
still are great songwriters and great
And
songs.
that's a band.
Yes.
That's a perfect example of
Aerosmith.
songwriting,
Oh,
because
goddamn right.
they were this band, and they got to a point where it was like, this isn't working.
Yeah, and
So-
they changed the game
They
so drastically.
Yeah.
Don't wanna close my eyes.
yeah, and they didn't write that song.
No,
You know what I mean?
but
And-
it doesn't matter.
Right.
They
They
got with pros
they
and did pro
right.
shit. You know.
Yeah, and you think of like, dude looks like a lady.
Oh
like,
yeah.
that's just like
Walk
clever
this
stuff.
way.
Yeah,
you know,
well, they had
just
some clever
weird
80s
shit.
songs. Well, they wrote
Yeah.
that shit. That was
Yeah,
all.
oh, yeah,
that was all
definitely.
Aerosmith. And they wrote some killer shit in the 70s, man.
Absolutely. Classic.
But I think that bands, this is all about trying to stay relevant.
sure.
It goes back to that before social media.
Mhm.
Was that it was all about how do we stay relevant with the times and with the
Mhm.
songs, because you wouldn't have heard "Love in an Elevator" by them in the 70s,
No.
but that them writing with Desmond Child and that was major labels going, look, you want to be on MTV,
sure.
you see all these bands with the big hair and shit, you got to
Yeah.
compete with that.
Yeah, fair
And they're
enough.
like, well, fuck that, we don't have to have big hair, but
Yes.
we'll fucking write great songs.
Yeah.
that
So
fit.
I have like a little pet theory about this, and correct me if you think I'm wrong or disagree or whatever. But there's this idea of, like you said, classic versus like trendy type thing. I think people that try to focus on doing stuff that they think is going to be trendy is maybe the wrong way to do it, instead of focusing on stuff that's just good and doing what you do best and being good at it, instead of focusing on what you think is going to be popular. I think that's a trap that you can really get
Yeah.
stuck in.
The big trend right now, the huge trend is bands doing cover songs now,
Sure.
because in the streaming world, bands can make revenue from that, and they
Absolutely.
can actually, it's a way to get themselves known. You know,
Well, it's already search engine optimized. Like
Right.
people are already searching for that stuff. So it makes sense on that level.
dude, trust me, we covered, Lose Yourself, Eminem,
Oh, that's
and we
super
did,
cool.
Michael Jackson, They Don't Care About Us, and
I love
those
that.
are two of our biggest streamed songs.
I believe that.
So, I mean, what do you do? I mean, I get it.
No,
I mean,
no,
like,
you play the game, man. And plus, covers are just cool. I mean, the Punk Goes Pop thing blew up in the late 2000s.
yeah.
Dude, All
And that
Time
was
Low covered that
before-
Rihanna song, and it broke
Right,
their entire
right.
career. And they've got number ones now. They're
Right.
killing it.
I Prevail with the Taylor Swift song.
Perfect example.
Yeah,
Great band,
yeah.
great singers. Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, I like that band. That's great. They're great.
Oh, yeah, it's super heavy mixes, just great. And that's actually to segue there. You're a producer and a really cool producer. I was checking out some of your stuff. So
Thank you, man.
Oh,
Thank
of
you,
course.
thank you.
Yeah, so I'm really nerdy about this stuff, and I obsess over my own mixing career, and I work with a lot of the bands around here. So if you don't mind, do you mind if we listen to you guys' new song on the podcast here?
Dude, go
Guys,
for
I
it.
would love to debut it for our listeners
Yeah.
here. Hold up, let me get the old display capture going and actually play this
Nice,
shit.
man.
Yeah, I got it all queued up and ready.
I'll walk you through. I'll walk you through it.
I'd
and-
love to
of
hear
how
the play-by-play. Fuck yeah.
It's erased. It's so obvious what you are.
Yeah, this was definitely pandemic fuel this stuff right here. You know, and I'm sober. I've been sober almost 4 years.
Okay, no, I
October
didn't
will
know
be
that.
4 years.
Hell
So
yeah.
a lot of these songs that you'll hear on this new record, a lot of songs that I wrote for this record, I did some co-writing, and this was a song that I co-wrote with a guy, this cat, Josh Landry, who is an up-and-coming artist, and he's got his project called Low Spirit.
Okay.
Dude, this shit is like next level.
We'll
dude.
look that up. Low Spirit.
Yeah, next level stuff, dude. So that's who I wrote this song with, and I had an idea of like, look, I want to create something fresh, and I want, you know, Saliva has always been about big hooks, big melody hooks, but it's like, okay, that's cool, but how do I do something that like is just stepping out of the box?
But yeah, this is
You know,
modern. It has a little Saliva.
I'm
in the
thinking
hook, but
Nine
it
Inch
has-
Nails, Marilyn Manson. Like, how do we influence some other shit?
You've definitely got that Atticus Ross kind of
Right.
Christopher and I.
Right. No, it'll be Low Spirit will be his thing. Yeah, but he blew up on TikTok doing covers.
Okay.
So that's how he got his name.
Yeah, the TikTok algorithm is so kind to creators right now.
And I met him. He's in Atlanta in his apartment.
Okay.
And like he and I got together and like wrote a couple songs and just floored me with his
Oh yeah.
off the nose lyric.
Cool choices of covers too. I dig this.
Yeah. He's very. He's up and coming, dude. I think that you'll be hearing about him in the next year or two.
Well, not totally, excuse me, but partially because of you guys, I'm sure, and your involvement with this.
Well, he's a great fucking songwriter.
Oh yeah,
That's
I'm
just
sure.
Great. I mean, he's writing with all kind of people right now in Nashville.
Well, and the vocalists that he's covering are no slouch here either. Like these are all legit vocalists.
Oh, dude, he plays every instrument.
Yeah,
he plays
that's
fucking
dope.
drums, guitar.
That's yet another guy.
That's like me. I same
bird's eye
thing.
view of the song kind of people.
So it's like meeting somebody that you rarely meet guys that you literally understand that language together. Of like the drums will do this, the guitars will do that.
Yeah,
like,
you know, these big modern vocal stacks and stuff. Yeah, dude, that's really cool.
Yes.
Very solid mix too. Did you mix this or you send it out?
No, this guy in Sacramento did.
Okay.
So I was actually, the funny thing about this song is I had this project during the pandemic that I was doing called Misery Down.
Okay.
And
I
like
would Google that shit too.
I had ended up, I don't really have a whole lot right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, dude. We just like plugging the shit, you know.
Yeah, so I don't really have a whole lot. I just released like a video.
Oh yeah, there it is, Bobby Amaru.
Yeah, and
is that how you pronounce your last name, by the way?
Amaru, yeah.
Okay, just making sure I'm not being an asshole.
Right. So I just, I did that, and then, was going to put it out, and then it turned into, Saliva. It was brought to my attention that we hadn't put out a new record in a few years.
Sure.
So I was like, well, fuck, let's make a new record. And
so what's that, like 2016, 2018, and then 2022?
Yeah, and then the Rise Up record was like 2013, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But and we didn't realize that we hadn't really put out new music in a while. Now we're in a day of bands are putting out a new song all the time.
Oh yeah, well the
like,
model is like, every 6 weeks on Spotify you want a new track is what the pros are telling you.
We've been so behind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
I think people can oversaturate themselves doing too much like that too. Like the algorithm likes it, but it doesn't lend itself to having material of really high caliber. You know what I'm saying? Right. Whereas if you focus on that material and really develop it, you stand a better chance of putting out something that's more timeless.
Yeah.
That's a tough nut to crack, man.
So the guy that mixed all this Misery Down stuff, this stuff's more heavier, modern kind of shit that I was doing.
Sure.
And some I Prevail kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Some old Linkin Park kind of vibes, on the heavy
right
side.
up my alley kind of vibes.
So that was this record.
Okay.
And the guy that mixed it, I had mixed Crows and mixed a couple Saliva tracks too. And this guy, Matt Thomas out in Sacramento. And he did great.
Hell yeah.
He works on a lot of metal stuff for like Sharp Tone Records. And,
Yeah. Very familiar.
I forget there's a band that he's always talking about that he's doing songs with.
No, what's his name? We can look up his all music.
Matt Thomas is his name.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm always like going down the
I
producer
think the
rabbit.
band's called Darko or something.
Okay, yo, dude, they sound great. They're
metal band?
super modern metalcore. Yeah,
He mixed all that shit.
Really? Okay, yeah. No, the guys in the producer forums love that shit.
Yeah. So he produces and mixes all their shit.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I dig that.
So
I'm not sure if I have the right guy.
that's probably not the right
No,
guy.
definitely not.
He's
Way
like
too
he's
classic.
in his 20s, I think.
That's all right. We'll figure that out later.
But anyways,
I'm not a
yeah.
huge
So
hurry
I
there.
thought the mix came out good on the song.
It sounds great. It really does.
You know, we really loved that, and we're grateful that Octane actually took notice to it and picked it up, and they
time.
world premiered it the other day, and you know, so huge
that's
thanks.
huge. I mean, that's millions of listeners.
Yeah, because
right there.
You know, look, man, we get it. Like we haven't necessarily been playing the relevance game here, you know, and you know, it's like, wait, you know, we got to really focus on the future of the band and what we're trying to do. And
But
like,
that said, if you listen to this stuff, you guys are doing exactly what you're saying you haven't been doing. So you're doing the right steps according to
and
that
we didn't
plan.
know that we were doing anything wrong. All we tried to do was just write good songs and write songs that for our fans that our fans would like. And,
Hell yeah.
But you know, you sometimes have to you have to try a little harder, man, and you know, and really think about how to expand your audience a little bit too.
Fair enough.
So you don't just put yourself in one category.
No, absolutely. Well, yeah, you don't want to get like typecast into like this is what you're allowed to do like for the rest of your life. Oh, that's got to be crushing.
Right.
But also, like, though, to be totally fair, having worked with you guys 3 times now, I will say people show up and show out for these shows, man. You guys have a very loyal fan base.
Dude.
We do well with you guys.
We are very grateful and humble. I mean, at least me. I mean, and I've been in the band, you know, over a decade now, and it's been like just awesome. You know, we've been to other countries, and someone's like blowing me.
Yeah, you're cool, dude. That's I edit this down for you know, making it a little bit more streamlined and stuff. It takes me 15 minutes. That's why we don't do it live, so that we can be boring like real human beings.
Oh, it was my guitar player. He said that the hotel said they had no more rooms. Haha. He's like blowing me up in the lobby, like I can't get into the hotel.
Wait, do we need to? Is that a problem? I need to help you solve? Okay, because I can get the
it.
boss man on the line.
Yeah,
we got that out.
We got it.
Okay, good, very cool.
He didn't want my room.
Oh, yeah. Well,
he didn't want seconds of my towels, I guess.
Yeah,
he's like wanted his own towels in his own room.
Made that mistake one too many times already.
All right,
I love that.
So,
dude, thanks so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy day and stuff for this.
Yeah, you know, just busy, just hanging out here, not really doing anything.
You know,
I'm bored.
As a singer, especially when you're singing every night, you want to get as much rest as possible.
Oh yeah,
and,
that's the big thing because people will ask me, how do you do it? That's what I told
Lewis. Says like, you know, I don't want to disrespect anybody. I want him to get as much rest as he needs. Like maybe after the show, and Lewis is like, oh, I'll shoot him a text and we'll find out. And you know, sure enough, here he is right here, just being super generous with his time. So honestly, that's something we don't take for granted. You know.
So yeah, honestly, dude, I was on the bus. Like I ate my food and then I got into chatting. I was chatting with my wife and
hell yeah,
and my kids, and then I fucking forgot. And then thankfully the guy, he texted me.
Oh yeah,
it's like, hey, are you gonna do this podcast, man? This dude's about to close shop, talk major shit about you online.
Oh,
you know?
Come on, that would.
I was like, oh
here.
man, let me.
Dude,
I'm kidding, but no,
of course,
I didn't want. You know,
it would just be a different conversation at 2 a.m. Like, oh God, yeah, we put out a new record. It's great. It's just like, I'm going to fall asleep now.
So who's your like favorite podcaster, or what do you listen to?
You know, so that's the thing. Like, I listen to really weird stuff. I listen to like psychologists and lawyers.
Oh, wow.
That's where I get all my news from. And like, I like on YouTube, I really like Dr. Grande. He's like a mental health and true crime podcaster. He's a clinical psychologist.
What kind of stuff does he talk about?
Like personality disorders and psychopaths and
does it like make you go, holy shit, that's me?
No, not at all. It makes you see the warning signs and like, you know,
and people,
like
other people,
not just in other people, but see, you know, like where those failings happen in people, so that maybe you could see it in yourself before something bad happened. You know.
To try and correct yourself.
Yeah, like you know, I try to be very aware of mental health stuff. You know.
Yeah, like it ran in my family, dude. Ran in my family with my artists, aunts, grandmothers, and you know all that stuff.
All artists face like that mirror. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we have to be very conscious of that.
So, growing up, like the thing is what I would do is I would see it and go, I'm going to go this way,
Yeah, man.
you know, and like just try to, I mean, trust me, it's not complete butterflies, but I'll tell you, like, one of the big things for me to really find happiness was quitting alcohol.
That's what I was going to ask, was if that was related to the
it's a
sobriety thing.
Huge thing, dude. for
Mine
me.
is
Like,
definitely like the physical fitness aspect of it too. Like just staying regular in the gym really seems to help me.
that's what I need to do.
Oh, dude, I could talk about that all day. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big like yoga and Pilates guy. I've
Dude,
like
you sound like my wife. That's what she's into.
Really?
And she makes me go to Pilates classes with her and yoga
Dude, it's
classes.
sick.
Anytime we go on trips, we go to Mexico. I'm like, oh yeah, we're just gonna like hang out, eat great food. It's like 7 a.m. All right, we got to go to yoga. It's
Oh,
like,
I love that.
are you kidding me?
Oh, your
Like,
wife is cool as hell.
yeah, she
Oh,
is, and pregnant. 7.5 months
Oh,
pregnant.
congrats,
so,
man.
yeah.
That's cool. And do you have any yet, or is this your first?
No, this is gonna be my third.
Oh, congrats, dude. Man,
My
that's
son's gonna be
hell of a
15, and then my daughter will be 11 coming up, and then
Oh, yeah,
got a
dude.
baby coming. So
woo.
tell
That's
me,
a pretty big age gap between those guys too, man.
Yep.
That's nuts.
Yep.
I'd say, kind of sort of tangentially related to that. One reason why I knew, well, we had Buck Cherry here really recently, and I was Josh's liaison, driving him around and stuff, and I was like, I wonder what this is going to be like.
how was that?
Oh, dude, it was great. So
Yeah. Yeah.
the first thing he did when he walked out of the tour bus was to walk out back there and roll out a yoga mat. That was like last thing I expected from the crazy bitch guy. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty.
Coolest, most down to earth, nicest guy. Like people were approaching him at the hotel asking for pictures, and he was like so gracious, just totally cool about it. Real sweet dude.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not what I expected at all. Not that I expected anything negative, but it's just like, damn, what a weird zen, down to earth dude.
Yeah, he was one of those dudes. Like if you think about like that lit up song, like the cocaine and all that shit.
Exactly.
He was completely sober then.
Yeah, you like
When
hear those
he's been sober
lyrics
like
and you're like,
25
what is
years.
this guy really like? You know? And then he's that guy. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is separating the art from the artist kind of vibes.
That's it. I mean, you know your audience, and
exactly.
you're playing to your
Y'all
audience.
crazy bitch. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they played that song for 25 minutes. Let me tell you something.
Oh, they drag it out in the middle.
It was
and
amazing.
Stuff.
So
we've done shows with them. Yeah, tons of
so
shows.
they played that song for 25 minutes and segued it into Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog to the tune of Crazy Bitch, and then brought it back into Crazy Bitch, and it slayed. I was like, how does this work? They killed. It was hilarious.
Dude, that's great, man.
Great show. Packed the freaking house, man. It was great.
Yeah, they always do really well.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, so we have a lot of crazy stories. I've seen, oh my God. Oh man, spicy tour stories. We love it.
So what was the best band that you saw come here? Or like what band
Come here. So
that you were stoked to see?
So, one of my favorite experiences working with a crew here was the Blackstone Cherry guys. Those guys.
Oh yeah, those guys are great.
Not only are they great and
Nice
great
guys.
musicians,
Yeah.
great vocals, great guitar playing, all that bells and whistles, but their crew is a well-oiled machine, and that's why we look forward to working with Phil and now Amanda, and you guys' crew is awesome. Blackstone Cherry's crew has to be, it's like right up there, and that's like one of the most professional crews I've ever worked with. They just knew exactly what to do. They worked through all of the kinks, man. Super friendly, super patient. Like you just love to see that. But
when you go into a venue and your crew is just bitching about everything, it's like that.
Come on, man.
It's not going to get done any faster.
Help me
than
help
that,
you,
know what I mean?
please.
Right. You have to all like kind of just collectively we can do that. And Phil, trust me, he's had to repair some PAs, man, on the road with us.
Oh, I've seen it happen, man.
Here he just did he just got out of the Seether Breaking Benjamin tour in arenas every night. So I wonder how he feels,
Man, we gotta have him on the podcast. Honestly, the nerds on the podcast are like one of my favorite things, which is why like interviewing you is such a cool cross section of that, because you are into the production aspect. So it's like we can kind of relate on both of those levels, which I love.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, I started doing Pro Tools and doing like studio stuff. Like 1999, I'd say.
Oh, hell yeah.
99 is when I got into that. And like Pro Tools then was like,
oh yeah, I remember.
New,
Yes.
not new, but like you only
New
really
enough.
used it for
Yeah.
certain things.
The
like,
editing capabilities then compared to now.
we
Yeah.
were still tracking drums and everything to an ADAT, and then we were putting it into Pro Tools
You still do records for other bands, or are you mainly focused on your projects now?
You know, I there was a time that I was doing a lot of that stuff, you know, really before I got in the band. And when I got in the band, it just kind of took up a lot of time.
I can't imagine
I
that
had like
Saliva
young kids.
isn't a full-time job.
Right.
Like that's got to be pretty full-time for sure.
Yeah. So then like, I didn't really want to do a whole lot when I was home. It was just more of just do family stuff.
Well, when you have the family too,
Right.
man, that's a huge commitment for sure.
But I've done a couple projects. And actually I picked up one recently, this kid in Houston area. Well, he goes to LSU. And I'm actually kind of stoked about it because like I got hit up from a friend that was like, "Hey, I got this kid I want you to listen to. He kind of reminds me of like Soundgarden, like
Ooh, shit.
meets like Nirvana, Three Doors Down-ish." And the only reason I say Three Doors Down is just because the songs were very
Quite
polished.
an
The songs were
intersection,
polished.
Yeah.
They were just kind of like radio type song, but just like it had this whole grunge like aspect to it. So I listened to like some of the demos and I'm like,
Yeah.
he just recorded them just at his house and
Sure.
they sounded freaking terrible. But you know what? What I heard was I was like, this kid had some really solid recordings and solid production. He might have a shot.
Yes.
And so vocally, he came to my house. We built the songs and then we did 5 songs in like 3 days vocally. And then we got 5 more songs that we're about to do.
So
But
he like brought you the instrumentals and you kind of coached him through the vocals?
I recut all the instrumentals.
Oh, that's
yeah,
holy shit.
everything had to be recut. And like we just kind of like online went back and forth with, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? I think I'm going to add this here.
Just being able to do that now is such a blessing, man. I love that.
So, but what I don't like doing is working with a band. It's like where I'm not going to work with like 4 guys because the problem
Death by committee.
The problem is, dude,
Yeah.
then you're like, you got a drummer who's, you know, feels like this beat he's playing needs to be the beat because he wrote it or whatever.
And then you end up playing like mediator and psychologist and all these jobs.
4 personalities, bro, with me.
Oh,
It's like, I'd rather deal with one. It's all about the song. It's all about the songwriting.
Dealing
all
with
about
an artist, I guess.
the vocals. It's all about the vocals, you know, stuff.
I like that.
So finding this artist was good. And, yeah, dude, his shit, it sounds like, I'm telling you, it kind of reminds me of like a Soundgarden, Highly Suspect kind of thing.
Ooh,
It's really cool though. So,
Yo, what did you think about that new Limp Bizkit album though?
Fucking love that
Zach
band.
Cervini is one of my favorite mixers right now, man. I
love that band. Wait, did he mix that?
He's mixing everything right now, dude. He's killing.
Who is it?
Zach Cervini. Well, I'll show you his roster right now. He's mixing everything cool. He did like those Nothing Nowhere records that are really popular right now.
Is he in LA or something?
He is in LA, yeah. He studied under John Feldman from Goldfinger. Yeah.
Now, so I have a funny story about John Feldman.
Oh, I love John. Please.
So when I got in the band, I was telling the band, I said, we need to do something different. And I said, we should get John Feldman to produce our record.
Dude, I would kill to hear that record from you.
But here's the thing. It would have been so fucking cool. And the reason that we didn't do it was because the band felt, oh, why don't we just go work with this guy that we had written the last record with before I got in the band.
Well, and it sounds amazing.
Right.
So you made a good choice.
The Rise Up record. But like,
even in the future, I mean, John Feldman is extremely pricey. So you got to justify that first of all.
Then he was not.
Oh man.
And he had done a bunch of big records then, but he was like, oh yeah, that Limp Bizkit shit sounds really good.
It is fire, dude. Will you listen to
I
that?
just went and saw them too.
Really?
So basically, this bass player Sam's one of my great friends.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah. He's the one that got my band signed in 2001. Yeah. When Limp Bizkit was like massive. And I'm going to tell you too, like it shows their musicianship, you know, their backbone and everything. Like
I couldn't agree more.
I've literally seen Limp Bizkit play with every band imaginable on a festival, and they just destroyed
they
all of them.
They always stand out, man.
They destroyed all of them. And I'm going to tell you, they don't run tracks. That's another thing. All these bands are running all these fucking tracks, and they're still like.
Well, Wes makes a lot of those sounds with a guitar.
Right.
It's so crazy.
But, you know, John's not playing to a click. All that shit's like full on. Lethal is time
I
time
love
coding
that.
all the stuff that he's doing with
Yeah.
with all his DJ shit. So he puts it in the time.
Yeah,
and
that's so
like,
cool.
but they don't run tracks. So I don't need any
Yeah,
of that. Have you heard North Lane?
Oh, cool. Dude, their new record.
I like that band.
I jammed that on the PA. That's
Yeah.
the new era record. Actually, I
Yeah.
love too.
I like discovering like
Oh yeah,
like stuff like that.
oh, it's incredible.
You know, because I listen to. I still like a lot of the classic rock shit. I like
Sure,
old
yeah.
Van Halen, dude, like stuff
Oh,
like
dude.
that. That's like my shit.
So my theory about not even just music but art in general is that like 95% of all art is kind of terrible, and it's all about finding the 5% of any genre in the whole world that rules. You know, like people that say I don't like this genre, I feel like they haven't really listened to the genre. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because people just are too quick to just close their mind.
Well, and they just had a bad experience, and they categorized that as
Right.
the whole experience. You know.
Right.
So have you listened to North Lane like from the beginning? Are you familiar with their progress as a band?
I didn't hear about them until a couple years ago.
Oh, wow.
when their last record came out.
Which also that new trancey thing that they're doing, like bringing trance music in.
It had like the new metal vibes to me on some of that
Love
old
it.
school. Like, what was the one song that they had? Was it what was the was it Blood something? Or?
Have you heard the later Under Oath records?
Dude,
Their 2018 record is the best record they ever put out. It's amazing.
Right.
It's and it also has like new metal
that's
vibes.
how I felt about Thrice on their
dude,
to be everywhere
totally.
is to be nowhere.
Another great
it's a great
vocalist.
fucking record. Dude.
Amazing vocalist.
I mean, think about where he progressed from. He was doing like poppy punk shit.
Yeah,
and
like the post-hardcore and pop punk. Yeah.
And then listen to that record, and it sounds like, dude, it was like,
Quantum
bro,
Flux, I think, is the one. Maybe.
Hold
up, we'll just pull up the whole band because it's worth pulling. I love the Australian music scene, like Alpha Wolf and Dealer and all those metal bands coming out of Australia are always so cutting edge. I don't know what it is about them. Something in the water over there, man. So albums.
No, Bloodline.
Oh yeah, so that's actually on their. No, it's not. It's on their last record, Alien. Yeah,
that's the one. That's what I got into them.
Yes,
was that one right
that's
there.
The new album just came out, Obsidian, and they've been teasing.
And
a bunch
I
of
like
singles.
Clockwork. I've liked that
That's
one.
my favorite song.
Yeah,
on
it's
that
a great
record,
song.
Actually, I love that one.
And but yeah, so that they do so many like diverse things. They can like get very vibey, and then they just hit you with the craziest scream.
It's
shit.
like going to an EDM festival, but it's in the Matrix movies.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so weird.
So I dig that band, man. I dig.
Same.
I dig like I love the way that some of that I Prevail, and Falling in Reverse stuff.
Yeah, I Prevail's the Falling in Reverse 2017 record and the I Prevail 2019 record, both just like cutting edge.
Is that Trauma? That's Trauma, right?
Yes, it is.
So see, that's the one that the one guy produced. What was that? What's the guy? He's very hot right now.
We'll
too.
find that out. That is worth looking into.
I hit him up about doing some mixes for me.
No,
and he was like, "Bro, I love the band, but I am so busy."
He is booked solid.
Yeah.
Man. Through this, mastered by Ted Jensen. Okay, mixing Tyler Smith, the young guy. He studied under Sturgis.
Yeah, Joey Sturgis.
He did that. Last Bless This Fall record, which is also incredible vocal production on that thing.
He did the number one. He did the record, the Falling Reverse one. Their number one.
The Monster, that makes
Popular
so
Monster.
much sense. Yeah. No, I love him. He's really cool.
Just like next level shit, man.
That Wage War, I didn't know he did their record either. I know they did a lot of
people are loving that band right
now.
So they're from Ocala, and near where I'm at.
Oh, really? Okay, so do you know Andrew Wade?
Jacksonville. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So Andrew Wade did a lot of the early Wage War stuff,
right,
which is also
phenomenal. And then who's the guy that did all the Under Oath shit in Tampa? I was gonna have him do some mixes for me too.
I love New Under Oath, man. It's so cutting edge.
Did they use him again, or who did they use?
We're gonna find out right now. Okay, discography.
James Whitner.
Oh, yes. No, I'm not as familiar with his work. I'm going to have to look into.
He did like this kind of shit. Like early stuff,
okay,
right?
That's cool. Lost in the Sound of Separation is where I started really getting, because like I said, I really like pop music, so I didn't really get into Under Oath until Lost in the Sound of Separation came out, and then Erase Me came out, and it's like their whole like philosophy on life changed.
Yeah,
and they had this like. And you can tell it through the music. The whole songwriting style that they had changed so dramatically there.
So this is James Paul Wisner. He did like Paramore's first record.
Oh, shit. Okay, wow. And Paramore's first record is a man, banger after banger on that record.
He did the new Dashboard Confessional, dude.
Really? Now I've heard that's really good. David Bendith is the one that did Riot by Paramore.
Yeah.
And he's like that iconic
and
Breaking Benjamin stuff too.
Kato was the engineer. Kato was like his right-hand man engineer.
Dan Corniff, who did a lot. He did like the Pierce the Veil stuff and like new My Chemical Romance.
Kato, he was the dude.
Okay, well, look this guy.
He unfortunately passed away a few years ago.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, Pop Evil, Pretty Reckless.
Dude, he
Drowning Pool.
He discovered he was playing me her stuff before they were called Pretty Reckless.
Very cool show.
On tour with Otherwise and Ninth Planet. Ninth Planet, this band from Rochester. They're like, up and coming Minnesota. That is.
Oh, cool.
Up and coming band.
Very talented guys, and they're like lighting designers at the same time.
I call them Parkway Drive. I'm like, they're like the band. They got like fucking more lights and smoke than any of the other bands.
I see where you're coming from there, dude. Very cool guys on this tour.
They would tell me, they were like, yeah, we showed up and opened for what was the band? I don't remember the band. It was I don't remember, but they were opening for the band and they show up and they got all their lights and the headlining band's like, we don't have that fucking kind of lights. No, you cannot use it.
That's I've heard some stories about stuff like that,
right?
Which is fair enough. That's like the never outshine the master kind of stuff. You don't want to be an asshole. Fair enough.
I get it, but it's dude.
But at least with you guys have a cool arrangement. They're helping you out with your lights.
Damn
They're
right.
bringing their own show. You guys are doing it right.
Like, man. I'll tell you what, you guys want to go play some shows with us?
Yo,
sweet.
Just one palm grease is another.
Give us a light. Just give us a light show. All right.
Love to see it. Fuck yeah, dude.
You can go on the next 3 years with us.
I've seen that you guys have been playing with them a lot too. So
and they're good kids, man.
Good advice for up and coming bands. Make yourself useful to people in the scene. That's literally, be awesome, cool homies that help out other bands and it gets you somewhere. Like the Shag in Huntsville, Alabama.
We get a lot of bands that are like, they want to buy on and stuff, but for us, it's like,
that's the lamest shit ever.
All I'm going to do is take the money and then go invest it into a lighting guy or something
shit
or whatever.
That you're already getting. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I'd rather just own and gets their band seen. They can sell some merch.
Super cool, man.
And then run our lights.
Okay. So I am going to shut it off here because we will keep talking all day. This is what we do. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Shagnasty's podcast. I got Bobby Amaru from Saliva here. We're going to have a great show tonight. Break a leg tonight, man. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thank you, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right. So awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
You are welcome.